In a moment, I'm going to show you all that this site does, which is a lot, but I want to deal with one issue right up front so we can get it out of the way. Let's talk about politics. Politics is making everybody crazy these days. We have liberals who hate conservatives, conservatives who hate liberals. Nobody's talking to each other anymore. There's an awful lot of anger and hate out there. So here's a story today. Senate Republican leaders call on Alabama candidate Moore to step aside. The date is November 13th, and as everybody knows by now, Judge Roy Moore has been accused of sexual abuse, groping of teenagers while he was in his 30s, dating of teenagers while he was in his 30s, and all hell has broken loose in this post-Harvey Weinstein era. So what I want you to focus on is up here. We're going to talk about this story from the perspective of multiple media outlets. We start with Reuters, then we move to Fox News, Talking Points Memo, Mediaite. Now notice they're all talking about the exact same story. The Blaze, The Atlantic, CNN, The New York Times, NPR, Politico, and the Huffington Post. So we have a wide range of sources here, liberal, moderate, conservative, and we think this is a good thing. We think this is very healthy. We think people should be exposed to multiple slants and points of view. So we carry on the same philosophy down below the story. We have a section here called The Latest Thinking, where our editorial writers talk about what they think about the news. So in each of these cases, we have Xavier, Kevin, Heath, and Jacqueline. They're all talking about what's going on here right now with respect to sexual abuse. And they all have different opinions, and they're entitled to those opinions. And we think it's good to have a mix of opinions, and then we leave it up to you, the reader, to figure out what you actually want to make of it all. For example, Jacqueline here is very disgusted by what she sees going on out there, whereas Heath here thinks this is all a setup and that the Washington Post has reported incorrectly on this issue. So we don't care what people's opinions are. We can have people with different opinions in wild opposition to one another side by side here, and we think that's a good thing. We think it's time for America to start talking to itself again, to each other. We're all citizens here. We all care about this. But the media ecosystem has become too polarized, and thelatest.com, we think, is the beginning of fixing all that. We want to be an antidote to all this. We want to be a place where people can carry on a civil, sane, and intelligent conversation, see all sides. We're not telling anybody what to think. We're not endorsing candidates. We leave all that up to you. I think people are getting tired of being told what to think. You can figure it out. Now that we have politics out of the way, let's talk about our original purpose, which was to make it really fast and easy to find whatever kind of information you're looking for. So if you're in a big hurry, I suggest you start here at our homepage, which is the first page that opens, and we'll give you the top 5 stories from the serious news area of our site, 5 stories from entertainment, the 5 top stories from sports, same thing with lifestyle, and then we do it with extra, which is a very interesting discovery part of our site. So if you're in a hurry, that's the way to go. We give it to you really fast, really quick. Okay, now let's say you want to go deep on a topic. Well, you can do that really nicely here at thelatest.com. Let's go to sports. So you're a sports nut. You want to know everything that's going on in the world of sports. Well, we give it all to you right here in the center column. On the right, we give you opinions from sports writers. But let's say you want to go even deeper. You don't care just about sports. You really care about basketball. So let's click on basketball. And next thing you know, all the stories in that center column will change to only basketball related stories. But let's say that's not even deep enough for you. Now you want to find out what's happening with the Clippers. Type in Clippers, hit return. Now you're going to see all the most recent stories coming in from all across the web that include mention of the LA Clippers. Let's say that's not even deep enough. You want to know about Doc Rivers. do the same thing. You can search on anything, by the way. It's not just sports. It could be gadgets, it could be celebrity gossip, it could be a movie that you want to know about. It's a great search engine. So you can go deep. If you have time on your hands, I recommend that you try out our extra section. We have feel good, spirituality, humanity, relationships, rumors and scandals, pets, weird, discovery, predictions, ideas. I keep telling people that the latest will save them time, and yet I find there are days when I've got time to kill and I just start plunking around in here, and an hour or two later I'm still at it. But it's just fascinating what you can find, because whatever the topic is, anything, lifestyle, thinking, these are opinion pieces, entertainment, let's say you want to know about celebrity gossip, it's all here. It's not just a serious site all about politics, not at all. Now, via My Latest, you can personalize all this. You can save searches, you can save specific news stories that you want to read later, you can find out what's going on in 100 different cities across America, you can see what your favorite writers are talking about today, you can see what your favorite news sources are doing, and you can look at your own TLTs, which is our shorthand for the latest thinking. So let's say I want to see some stories that I've saved. I want to get around to reading them now. I click on My Saved News. Then we see my library of saved news. I have 166 different items I've saved. Here's something about Hamilton. I can read that story now or later. Let's say there's a source that I want to know about. I've got several sources that I check in on regularly. Let's say I want to know about what's happening on at the Kansas City Star. I used to work at the Kansas City Star. I got my start there as a cub reporter, as an editorial intern. So now if I click on that, I can see all the most recent stories coming out of the Kansas City Star. So you can personalize this whole thing. What you see and what I see can be very different. Okay, we're almost done now. In closing, I saved the best for last, perhaps. We got rid of the irritants. No fake news, no clickbait headlines, no political bias, no anger, no hate, no trolls, no pop-up ads, no autoplay videos, no privacy intrusions. We do have a mobile app coming out soon. It's not quite done, but we're close, and it looks great. And now I just want to thank you for spending time with me today. To check out the latest.com, the world's new homepage. We're looking for friends. We're looking for writers who have something to say. We're looking for investors. We're looking for advertisers. We're just looking for lots and lots of users. You name it, we want it. You can see my name and email address down here, jeffhall@thelatest.com. If there's anything at all you'd like to explore, I do hope you'll get in touch. Thank you very much. Heard the latest? Now you have.